Do you ever feel stuck watching your to-do list grow while your confidence shrinks? Right now, you're caught between knowing what you want and finding the will to go after it. You're tired of empty promises and more busy work that leads nowhere. In this video, you'll learn how to push past doubt and take real action every single day. You'll discover simple steps to stop waiting and start doing, clear ways to protect your time and energy, and a proven mind shift that turns excuses into results. You'll hear true stories of people who changed their lives by forcing themselves to move forward even when they felt scared or tired. By the end, you'll feel ready to own your choices and build momentum in your own life. Stay with me and get ready to transform the way you work, think, and grow. Hit play now and let's get it done together. Chapter 1. Decide right now to stop waiting and start acting. Stop waiting. Start acting. That's the truth most people need, but avoid. And the longer you wait to face that truth, the longer your life stays stuck in place. You don't need another plan. You don't need more motivation. And you definitely don't need more time. What you need is to make a decision and back it up with action. Not next week, not tomorrow. Now, every day that passes is a day you will never get back. People spend months, years, sometimes decades sitting on ideas, dreams, and plans they never act on. Why? Because starting is uncomfortable. Starting means taking responsibility. Starting means leaving behind the comfort of dreaming and stepping into the discomfort of doing. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. Change doesn't begin with more thinking. It begins when you decide that sitting still is no longer acceptable. It begins when you reach a point where staying the same is more painful than moving forward. That moment is where life starts to change. Too many people believe they need to feel ready to begin. But readiness is a myth. Nobody ever feels fully ready to start anything worthwhile. Action creates readiness. Confidence comes from doing, not thinking. Progress comes from moving, not from planning the perfect move. When you decide to stop waiting and start acting, your life begins to shift. Not because the world suddenly changes, but because you change. You stop being passive and start taking control. You stop blaming outside circumstances and start owning your choices. And that shift in mindset is what sets everything else in motion. The real difference between those who live full, accomplished lives and those who don't isn't intelligence or talent. It's the willingness to begin. It's the courage to say, I'm going to do this, even when the conditions aren't perfect. Think about all the things you've said you wanted to do. Start a business, get in shape, write a book, wake up earlier, improve your mental health, spend more time with family. The list is endless. Now think about why you haven't done those things yet. Most likely, it's not because you can't. It's because you haven't made the decision to start. A real decision means you cut off all other options. You don't wait for someone to give you permission. You don't wait for someone to make it easier. You don't wait for the fear to go away. You decide. And once that decision is made, action must follow. Not someday, today. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they need more information before they begin. But more information without action is just another form of procrastination. You already know enough. You know what needs to be done. You're just afraid to face it, and that fear is what keeps you stuck. But fear has no power over action. You can be afraid and still move forward. You can doubt yourself and still take the next step. That's what real strength looks like. Not the absence of fear, but the refusal to let fear control you. When you begin to act, everything starts to shift. Your mindset sharpens, your energy increases, your focus strengthens, your self-respect grows. Not because you accomplished everything yet, but because you honored your decision with movement. You don't need massive action on day one. What you need is consistent action, Start small if you have to, but just start. Send the email, write the first paragraph, walk around the block. Wake up 1 hour earlier, make the call. Whatever the next step is, take it. There is no magic in the beginning itself. The magic is in following through. Starting is the spark, but consistency is the fuel. And the only way to stay consistent is to remember why you started in the first place. If your goal means something to you, then act like it does. Show up for it. Fight for it. Prioritize it. Stop waiting for the mood to strike. Stop waiting for the outside world to give you a sign. You don't need a sign. The fact that you're thinking about it is your sign. The fact that it keeps coming back into your mind means it matters, and things that matter deserve your action. Waiting is easy. Acting is hard, but that's exactly why action is so valuable, because most people won't do it. Most people will talk, plan, hope, and complain, but never start. If you want to separate yourself from the average, start now. That's the gap. That's the real edge. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in one day, but you need to do something that moves you forward, because each small action builds momentum, and momentum is what makes progress feel natural. One of the best things you can do for yourself is to stop believing that the future will be easier. It won't. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. The more excuses you make now, the more regret you will feel later. Action now is the only antidote to future regret. You have to get comfortable with the discomfort of starting. You have to that uncomfortable feeling you get when you're about to begin something new. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're in the right place. That's the edge of growth, and most people turn back at that edge. But if you keep going, if you lean into it, that's where change happens. Discipline is born the moment you act when you don't feel like it. And personal power comes from making that decision every single day. Not once, not when it's easy, but repeatedly, until it becomes your default mode. You'll never be perfect, and that's fine. You'll have days where you fall short. But the decision to keep moving is what defines your path. You don't need perfection to make progress. You just need the willingness to keep going. Your life will not improve unless your actions improve, and your actions will not improve unless you start taking them. Reading another chapter won't do it. Watching another video won't do it. Thinking about it won't do it. Only action moves the needle. The people you admire, whether they're successful entrepreneurs, athletes, writers, or creators, aren't special. They just act on their decisions. They do the work even when they're tired, even when they're uncertain, even when nobody claps for them, and that's exactly why they succeed. You are capable of the same, but you have to stop waiting for your feelings to lead you. Feelings are unreliable. Sometimes they lie. Sometimes they stall you. Sometimes they disappear. But action, real action, builds something solid inside of you. It builds self-respect. It builds grit. It builds results. If you want to look back on your life with pride instead of regret, start acting now, because regret doesn't come from what you tried and failed. Regret comes from what you never tried at all. Regret comes from all the moments you said, "I'll start tomorrow," and never did. You owe it to yourself to live fully. You owe it to yourself to pursue the things that light you up, challenge you, push you, and stretch you. But that starts with a decision. A decision to stop hiding behind hesitation. A decision to stop burying your potential under delay. A decision to stop pretending you have forever. You don't have forever. You have now. That's the truth. And once you see that clearly, you realize how precious every action becomes. So take the step, write the first word, speak up, apply, start building, start learning, start doing. Whatever it is, begin now. The fear won't go away. but neither will your goal, and the only way to reach that goal is to move through the fear. Action breeds clarity, action builds strength, action shapes identity. When you act, you start to believe in yourself. You stop seeing yourself as someone who dreams and start seeing yourself as someone who executes. That shift is life-changing. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to drag you toward your goals. This is your life. This is your responsibility, and this is your moment to claim it. There's nothing more painful than knowing you could have done more. There's nothing heavier than the weight of wasted potential. So make the decision now to live fully. Start acting like your goals matter. Start behaving like your future depends on your present actions. Because it does. You've waited long enough. You've thought about it enough. Now it's time to move. No more stalling. No more excuses. No more delays. Decide now. Act now. And never look back. Chapter 2. Wake up early daily to take full control. Waking up early is not just about time, it's about control. It's a personal decision to rise before the rest of the world and claim the day as your own. It's one of the clearest signs that you've made the choice to lead your life instead of reacting to it. When you wake up early, you're not just adjusting your schedule, you're taking back ownership over your hours, your habits, and your direction. You're no longer letting the day pull you around, you're stepping into it with intention, on your terms. When you open your eyes before the noise starts, before the demands, the calls, the distractions, you get something most people never experience: peace and clarity. And in that space, you can think clearly, you can focus deeply, you can act deliberately. This quiet window is where you get ahead, while the rest of the world is still asleep. You're not scrambling, you're not rushing, you're building a life from a place of power, not panic. The first hour of your day sets the tone for the rest of it. If you wake up late, check your phone, skip breakfast, and rush out the door, your entire day is thrown off. You feel like you're behind, trying to catch up, and that feeling doesn't go away. It follows you. But when you wake up early and start with order, you walk into the day calm, focused, and already ahead. Early mornings are not just a productivity hack, they are a mindset shift. They represent discipline over impulse. You are saying no to extra sleep in favor of more life. You are building mental toughness by doing something most people avoid, and that small act builds momentum. When you start the day strong, you carry that strength with you into every decision that follows. Most people avoid early mornings because it's uncomfortable, and that's the point. Growth lives in discomfort. When you choose to get up early, you are training yourself to act based on decisions, not feelings. You are teaching your body and mind that discipline leads. That you don't wait to feel like doing something, you just do it because it needs to be done. That's what separates leaders from followers. That's what builds unshakable confidence. There's something powerful about standing in the early morning silence, knowing you're ahead of where you used to be. You're not reacting to life anymore. You're creating it. You're not stuck in the same loop. You're building new patterns. And those patterns shape everything, from your mindset to your future. Each early morning becomes proof that you are capable of change, that you are choosing growth over comfort, that you are serious about your progress. One of the most common excuses people give is, "I'm not a morning person." But being a morning person is not a trait, it's a choice. It's something you train into your system through repetition and consistency. It's not about who you are now, it's about who you want to become. And if that future version of you is focused, disciplined, and successful, then early mornings are part of the process. Changing your sleep pattern is hard at first. You will resist it. You will want to stay in bed. But with each morning, you rise on purpose. It gets easier, not because the body suddenly loves waking up, but because the mind gets stronger. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving in to the comfort of sleep. You stand up, even when it's hard. And that's how you build real power, by doing hard things over and over, until they become normal. If you want to succeed in any area of life, you must learn to do things others won't. Waking up early is one of those things. While others sleep in and waste time, you're already working on yourself, reading, training, planning, reflecting, getting clear on what matters most. And when you do that day after day, the compound effect becomes unstoppable. Don't overcomplicate your morning. You don't need a perfect routine. You just need a consistent one. Set your alarm for a fixed time. Put your phone out of reach. Get out of bed as soon as it rings. Don't check notifications. Don't scroll. Do something that moves you forward. Write, read, meditate, exercise, prepare your day. Drink water, eat something light and clean. Start with intention, and do it again tomorrow. What you do in those first moments sets the frame for everything else. If you begin with discipline, the rest of the day feels like a continuation of that mindset. You're more likely to eat better, think clearer, stay focused, and act with purpose. But if you start with laziness or delay, that pattern repeats too. That's why mornings matter so much. They are a reflection of how you treat your life. Think about it this way. Every time you snooze your alarm, you delay your own growth. You send a message to yourself that sleep matters more than your goals. You start the day by choosing comfort over progress, and that one choice, repeated over time, becomes a habit of postponement. But when you wake up early, you begin with victory. You win the first battle of the day, and that win carries forward. There will be days you're tired. There will be nights you didn't sleep well. There will be mornings when your mind says, just a little longer. That's when the test begins. That's when you decide whether your vision is stronger than your excuses. And every time you rise when it's hard, you build more of the grit you need to win in life. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You might fail some mornings, that's okay. But get back up the next day. Keep showing up. Keep choosing discipline, because each early morning you conquer becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. It's not about one day, it's about who you become through the days. Nobody successful got there by chance. They got there by routine, by habits, by structure. And the most powerful habit you can build is rising early and owning your time. It creates room for growth before the demands of life kick in. It builds strength when nobody is watching. It shapes you into someone who leads themselves before they try to lead others. If you want to create change, it starts in the morning. If you want to live with purpose, it starts in the morning. If you want to stop feeling behind, it starts in the morning. That time is yours. It belongs to no one else. It's the purest time you have, and what you do with it shapes who you become. You don't need a secret formula. You don't need another excuse. You need a reason to rise, and that reason must be stronger than your comfort. If you can master your mornings, you can master your life. Because mornings are not just about the clock, they're about the mindset. They're about the decision to lead yourself every single day. So set the alarm, get up on time, stand up when you don't feel like it. Walk into your day with intention and energy. Claim your hours before anyone else does. Show yourself that you can lead your own life, and watch how everything starts to change. Chapter 3. Build a simple plan and follow it daily. Improvement doesn't happen by accident. It happens by structure. Without a plan, your days blur together. You react instead of lead. You move, but without direction. And over time, that aimless motion turns into frustration. If you want your life to change, you need to take charge of it. Step by step, you need a clear plan. Not a complex one, not a perfect one. A simple, strong, and steady plan that you can follow every single day. Too many people wait for the perfect system before they start. They want the flawless schedule, the ideal routine, the ultimate strategy. But in reality, perfection is the enemy of progress. You don't need a master plan, you need a doable one, a clear set of daily actions that pull you forward toward the person you want to become. And the simpler it is, the better it works. A good plan keeps your mind sharp. It gives your day a beginning, a direction, and a finish line. It removes the stress of deciding what to do next. It protects your energy from distractions. It eliminates confusion, and when followed consistently, it builds momentum that compounds over time. The power is not just in writing it. The power is in living it. When you build a simple plan, you're organizing your values into actions. You're translating your goals into behavior. A plan takes your big vision and breaks it into manageable steps. That's how real progress is made. Not by giant leaps, but by repeated effort focused in the right direction. Start with clarity. Ask yourself what you really want to improve. Be honest, not what sounds impressive, what actually matters to you. Health, focus, skills, mindset, relationships, whatever it is, narrow it down. The clearer you are, the stronger your plan will be. Then break it down into small, repeatable actions, not vague goals like be more productive or get in shape, but specific behaviors like work distraction-free for 1 hour each morning, or do 20 minutes of physical exercise every day. The simpler the action, the easier it becomes to stick with it, and the more often you repeat it, the stronger your discipline becomes. Your plan should fit your life, not the other way around. Don't build something so extreme that it collapses after a few days. Build something realistic that you can actually sustain. Start with fewer steps, not more. Build consistency first, then add complexity. It's not about how intense your plan is, it's about how consistent you are with it. Most people quit on their goals because their plan was too heavy from the beginning. They tried to change everything at once and collapsed under the weight of it. Your job is not to sprint out of the gate and burn out. Your job is to build a system you can show up to every single day. That's where discipline lives. That's where growth happens. And once your plan is built, your only job is to follow it. Not to rethink it every day, not to adjust it based on your mood. Follow it even when you're tired. Follow it when you don't feel like it. Follow it when nobody's watching. The whole point of a plan is to give you direction. When your emotions want to take you off course, it won't always be exciting. It won't always feel rewarding, but it will be worth it. Because every day you follow your plan, you reinforce the kind of person you're becoming. You're proving to yourself that your actions align with your values. You're building trust with yourself, and that trust is what fuels long-term confidence. Don't fall into the trap of comparing your plan to others. Your life is different. Your responsibilities are different. What works for someone else may not work for you. The goal isn't to match someone else's pace. It's to keep your own steady. Stay locked in on your process. Own it. Protect it. Honor it. The results will come from the rhythm you create, not the noise around you. There will be days you slip, days you miss, days you feel off. That's normal. You're human. But don't let one off day destroy the whole plan. Get back on track the next day. Consistency is not perfection. Consistency is coming back again and again. Progress is not erased by a misstep. It's only erased when you stop coming back. Your plan doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be clear. Write it down. Keep it visible. Review it every morning. Anchor it into your routine. Let it become part of who you are, not just something you do. And when it becomes part of you, it stops feeling forced. It becomes automatic. That's when life starts to feel more stable, more directed, more under control. A powerful routine doesn't overwhelm you. It grounds you. It gives you something solid to hold on to when life gets unpredictable. It reminds you that no matter how chaotic the outside world becomes, you can still show up and move forward. That kind of control is rare, and it starts with a simple plan. Most people are not struggling from lack of effort. They're struggling from lack of direction. They work hard, but not in the right direction. They're busy, but not productive. They're active, but not focused. A good plan fixes that. It turns effort into results. It turns motion into purpose. You don't need to guess your way through each day. That leads to fatigue, distraction, and burnout. Know your tasks. Know your time blocks. Know your priorities. Keep it so simple that even on your worst days, you can still execute. Build your days around a few high-value actions. Stack them, repeat them, master them. This is not about becoming robotic. It's about becoming responsible. It's about replacing chaos with structure, replacing random effort with deliberate action, replacing emotional choices with committed decisions. Your plan is not just a schedule, it's a contract with your future. If your days have no structure, your progress will have no foundation, and without a foundation, everything you try to build will eventually fall apart. Your habits, your focus, your drive, they all need something stable to hold them together. That stability comes from having a plan you follow, day after day. It's not enough to want growth. You have to build a life that supports it. And that life starts with the decisions you repeat. The only way to make those decisions automatic is to turn them into part of your plan. And the only way to make them work is to show up for them every single time. Discipline doesn't feel good in the moment. It feels like effort, like resistance, like sacrifice. But what it produces, clarity, progress, peace, is worth every bit of it. And when you look back weeks or months from now, you won't remember the friction. You'll remember how far you've come. You'll see the results that most people never get to experience. And you'll know that they didn't come from chance. They came from structure. You can't control every part of life, but you can control how you use your time. And when you use that time wisely, through a plan you respect and follow, life stops feeling random. It starts to feel intentional. It starts to feel powerful. It starts to feel like it's moving in the right direction. So stop winging it. Stop hoping your day will work out. Decide how you want to live. Choose your actions with purpose. Keep it simple, follow through, and build the kind of life that doesn't depend on motivation, mood, or luck, just on your ability to keep showing up and doing what matters. Chapter 4. Cut out every excuse that holds you back. Excuses are invisible chains. They sound harmless, but they quietly hold you in place. They disguise themselves as reasons, as logic, as fairness. But deep down, they are nothing more than barriers built by fear, comfort, and hesitation. And until you cut them out completely, you will stay stuck exactly where you are. Growth doesn't live in excuse-making. It lives in responsibility. It begins the moment you stop allowing your mind to find a way out, and instead demand that it finds a way through. When you make an excuse, you give your power away. You shift the blame to something outside yourself, your past, your environment, your energy, your circumstances, your timing. It's easier that way. It lets you protect your ego. It helps you avoid the discomfort of admitting that your life is in your hands. But the truth is, every excuse delays your progress. Every excuse keeps you from becoming who you could be. Every excuse is a wall between you and your next level. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need better luck. You need to stop making room for excuses and start making room for effort. You need to face your patterns and call them out. If you always say you're tired, change your sleep habits. If you always say you're too busy, review how you waste time. If you always say it's not the right time, ask yourself how long you'll keep saying that. Excuses will always feel valid until you hold them up to the truth. The most dangerous thing about excuses is that they become your identity. The more you say them, the more you believe them. Eventually you don't even realize you're making them. You say, "That's just the way I am," and you stop trying. But that's not who you are. That's just a version of you that hasn't been challenged. You can grow, you can change, you can improve, but you have to be willing to be brutally honest with yourself first. Excuses are comfortable. They allow you to feel safe in your limits. But comfort is not your friend when you want to grow. Progress comes with pressure. It comes with choices that aren't always easy, but are always necessary. If you want to get stronger mentally, you have to be willing to face the voice inside you that tries to talk you out of everything that's good for you. You don't need to argue with your excuses. You just need to remove them. When your mind says, "I can't," respond with action. When it says, "Not now," respond with movement. When it says, "Maybe later," respond with "right now." The only way to kill an excuse is to replace it with action. That's the only language it understands. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act despite how you feel. The excuses you make are not facts. They are habits. And like any habit, they can be broken. But it starts with catching yourself in the moment. Pay attention to what you say when things get hard. Do you instantly try to escape the challenge? Do you look for the first way out? That's the signal. That's the moment you need to stay with it and push through. Not because it's easy, but because that's where growth lives. If you want to make real progress in life, you have to stop negotiating with yourself. Excuses are built on negotiation. Maybe I'll start next week. I'll try again when things slow down. I'll wait until I feel more confident. You don't need to negotiate. You need to decide. You need to tell yourself the truth and then act on it. Waiting for the perfect time is just another way of saying you're not serious yet. Think about where you would be today if you had stopped making excuses a year ago. Think about the strength you'd have built, the skills you'd have gained, the confidence you'd be living with. That version of you still exists, but you can only become that person by taking control of the choices you make today. You can't go back and change the past, but you can stop repeating it. Excuses also steal your confidence. Every time you make one, you teach yourself that quitting is acceptable, that delay is reasonable, that comfort matters more than growth. Over time, that belief system weakens your self-trust. You stop believing in your own ability to change because you've trained yourself to run every time things get uncomfortable. But the good news is, the same way you built that pattern, you can break it. You can build a new standard, one where excuses don't get to run your life. Start by being honest about the stories you tell yourself. Are they true or are they safe? There's a difference. Truth pushes you. Safety shelters you. If you want to become strong, choose truth every time. If something isn't working in your life, don't protect it with excuses. Fix it. Own it. Improve it. There is no growth in defending your limitations. Cutting out excuses doesn't mean life gets easy. It means you stop hiding from the hard parts. It means you stop looking for ways around the work and go through it instead. The process will test you. It will push your limits. But that's exactly what you need. You don't become better by avoiding struggle. You become better by facing it head-on and deciding to keep moving anyway. Every time you make a choice based on action instead of excuse, you get stronger. You build resilience. You prove to yourself that you don't need ideal conditions. You prove that you can keep going even when it's hard. That kind of inner strength can't be faked. It's earned. And it's earned through repetition, day after day, doing what needs to be done, even when your mind looks for a way out. You can't carry excuses and progress at the same time. One has to go, and you get to choose which one stays. If you keep holding on to your excuses, don't be surprised when your life stays the same. But if you decide to drop them, even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even when nobody claps for you, you open the door to change, real, lasting change. This is about standard. The standard you set for yourself determines the life you live. If you allow yourself to make excuses, you're setting a standard of avoidance. But if you hold yourself to action, no matter how small, you're setting a standard of discipline. That standard builds character, and character is what carries you through when motivation fades. You're not too late. You're not too far behind. But you have to stop letting the same thoughts run your life. You have to stop giving yourself permission to delay, to hide, to stall. You have to decide right now that you will no longer give space to anything that keeps you from your potential. Not your past, not your fears, and definitely not your excuses. It won't happen in one day, but it starts in one moment. The moment you hear yourself making an excuse and you choose not to listen to it, the moment you feel resistance and you move anyway, that moment becomes a pattern. That pattern becomes a habit. That habit becomes your new identity, and that identity, that's who you've been looking for. That's the version of you that doesn't wait, doesn't blame, doesn't make excuses. That's the version that shows up, does the work, and builds a life that matches the effort. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop explaining your inaction. Stop accepting your own excuses. Start acting. Start proving that you can live without limits, because you stopped giving your excuses a voice. Chapter 5. Track your progress honestly to stay on target. Tracking progress honestly is a vital step toward achieving any meaningful goal. Without clear, truthful measurement, it's impossible to know if you're moving forward or standing still. Progress isn't always obvious, especially when you're working quietly day by day. That's why keeping a real record of your efforts matters more than any grand statement of intent. It's where accountability lives. When you track honestly, you confront the truth of your actions without excuses or denial, and that truth becomes your compass, guiding every decision and adjustment along the way. Honest tracking requires vulnerability. It means facing the parts of your journey you'd rather ignore, the days when you fall short, the moments you skip steps, the times you don't give your best. Many avoid this because it feels uncomfortable, like admitting failure. But real growth demands you meet yourself with truth, not with sugar-coated lies. That honesty fuels self-awareness, and awareness is the foundation for improvement. When you know exactly where you stand, you can make smarter choices, avoid repeating mistakes, and celebrate genuine wins. Without a tracking system, it's easy to drift. You think you're doing enough, but your results tell a different story. You blame circumstances or motivation rather than your approach. But progress isn't a mystery, it's measurable, it's concrete. It's the sum of your daily efforts aligned with your goals. Tracking turns your intentions into data. It transforms abstract dreams into tangible steps. Choose a method that works for you. Some people prefer journals where they write their daily wins and setbacks. Others use apps or spreadsheets to log specific metrics. What matters most is consistency and honesty. The tool is secondary to your commitment to recording reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. The act of recording itself builds focus. It keeps your goals alive in your mind and prevents complacency. Honesty in tracking also means not manipulating your results to feel better. It's tempting to inflate small wins or ignore setbacks, but doing that only creates false confidence. When reality catches up, which it always does, the setback hits harder. Facing facts, even harsh ones, builds resilience and sharpens your strategy. It prepares you to respond with strength rather than denial. Regular reviews of your progress are crucial. Tracking is not a set-it-and-forget-it task. Schedule time weekly or monthly to examine your data with a clear mind. Ask yourself, what is working? What is not? Are you sticking to your plan? Where did you deviate? What adjustments will bring you closer to your goal? This review process is your navigation system. Without it, you risk wandering aimlessly, wasting precious energy. Remember that progress is not always linear. There will be ups and downs, plateaus and leaps. That's normal. Honest tracking helps you see beyond immediate results and understand your bigger trajectory. It reveals patterns that you can learn from. Patterns help you predict challenges and create solutions ahead of time. Be patient with yourself during this process. Growth is a journey, not a sprint. Some days will be better than others. Some weeks will feel stagnant. But the key is to keep showing up, keep recording, and keep learning. Your records are proof that you are actively engaging in your transformation. They keep you grounded when emotions tempt you to quit or stray. Tracking progress also strengthens your motivation. Seeing how far you've come, even in small increments, can inspire you to continue. It reminds you that your effort matters and that change is happening, even if it feels slow. This visible proof of movement counters discouragement and reinforces your commitment. Being honest with your progress builds integrity. You begin to trust yourself more because you know you face reality head-on. That trust is essential for long-term success. It means you can rely on your own word and actions. You become your own most powerful ally, capable of pushing through challenges with clarity and courage. Don't confuse tracking with perfectionism. The goal isn't to record flawlessly or avoid mistakes. The goal is to develop a clear, honest picture that guides your growth. Imperfections in your data reflect your human experience. Embrace them. They are opportunities to learn and adapt. Create a simple habit around your tracking. Link it to an existing routine so it becomes automatic. It could be journaling each evening, logging your workout immediately after, or reviewing your daily to-do list first thing in the morning. The more natural the habit, the less resistance you'll face. Consistency over time builds a powerful momentum of awareness. When you track honestly, you start to see what's truly worth your energy. You discover which efforts produce results and which drain you without return. This clarity helps you focus your time and resources on what matters most, avoiding burnout and wasted effort. Tracking progress can also reveal unseen victories. Sometimes the milestones that matter aren't the flashy results, but the small shifts in habit, mindset, or behavior. Recognizing these helps you celebrate your journey and maintain a positive outlook. Be cautious of comparing your tracked progress to others. Everyone's journey is unique, with different challenges and timelines. Use your records as a personal guide, not a competition. Your only opponent is your past self and your own potential. As you grow accustomed to tracking, you'll notice a deeper self-discipline emerging. The act of measuring progress creates a feedback loop that encourages continual effort and refinement. It turns vague desires into concrete achievement. Honest progress tracking cultivates patience, perseverance, and precision. It teaches you to wait for results that matter rather than chasing instant gratification. It trains you to respect the process and the time it takes to build real change. When obstacles arise, your records serve as evidence that you can overcome. You have proof of your past efforts and resilience. This history empowers you to face future challenges with confidence. Ultimately, the discipline of honest progress tracking is a practice of self-respect. It honors your commitment to growth by demanding truth and accountability. It is a daily act of choosing yourself over excuses, clarity over confusion, and forward movement over stagnation. Without honest tracking, goals become wishes. With it, goals become reality. Every step you take that you record and review brings you closer to the person you want to be. It transforms vague intentions into clear accomplishments and builds the foundation for lasting success. Chapter 6. Push through discomfort until it becomes your strength. Discomfort is often seen as something to avoid, but it is one of the most powerful tools for growth. When you push through discomfort regularly, you build strength that lasts far beyond the moment. Discomfort is the gateway to resilience. It is the training ground where your mind and body become tougher and more capable. Every time you face discomfort and keep moving, you condition yourself to handle more. Over time, what once felt hard becomes easier. What once triggered hesitation becomes your signal to act. The human brain naturally seeks comfort because comfort means safety. That's a survival mechanism, but growth requires stepping outside of that safety zone. It demands that you endure temporary unease for a longer-term benefit. The gap between who you are now and who you want to be is filled with discomfort. If you avoid that discomfort, you remain stuck. If you embrace it, you expand your limits. Pain, struggle, and challenge are not signs that you're failing. They are signs that you are trying something meaningful. If your efforts don't cause some friction, you might not be pushing hard enough. Discomfort signals that change is happening beneath the surface. It is the body's way of adapting and growing stronger. When you lean into discomfort, you send a message to your brain that fear won't control you. At first, pushing through discomfort feels unnatural. Your mind will resist. You will hear the voice that wants to quit, slow down, or avoid the challenge. This is normal. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is who chooses to act despite those voices. Every step you take through discomfort strengthens your self-control muscles. It creates a habit of courage. Discomfort comes in many forms: physical, emotional, mental. It could be the burn in your muscles during a workout, the anxiety of public speaking, the frustration of learning something new, or the vulnerability of facing your fears. None of these feel good in the moment, but they all contribute to your growth. The more you endure them, the more your capacity increases. One of the keys to pushing through discomfort is to reframe your mindset. Instead of seeing discomfort as punishment or failure, see it as training. It's an opportunity to build your capacity, to toughen your resolve, and to prepare yourself for bigger challenges ahead. When you change how you view discomfort, it loses its power to stop you. Discomfort is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. The more you practice showing up in hard moments, the less intimidating future discomfort becomes. You build confidence knowing that you've survived before and you can survive again. This confidence compounds and makes you fearless in the face of obstacles. Discomfort also teaches patience. Growth isn't instant, it takes time and repeated effort. When you push through discomfort day after day, you train yourself to endure long-term challenges. This patience is essential for achieving any worthwhile goal. It prevents you from giving up when progress seems slow. It's important to recognize that discomfort is not the same as pain that signals harm. Learning to distinguish between productive discomfort and destructive pain is part of developing strength. Productive discomfort challenges you without breaking you. It pushes your limits without causing injury. Destructive pain warns you to stop and reassess. Listening to your body and mind is crucial. To develop the ability to push through discomfort, start small. Choose one area in your life where you feel resistance. Commit to facing that discomfort for a short time each day. It could be a cold shower, a difficult conversation, or a challenging task you've been avoiding. By consistently stepping into discomfort, you build your threshold. Preparation also helps. When you know discomfort is coming, you can prepare yourself mentally and physically. Visualize the challenge and remind yourself why it matters. This mental rehearsal reduces fear and increases your ability to stay calm under pressure. Preparation doesn't remove discomfort, but helps you meet it head-on. Discomfort builds character. It reveals your true nature. When you push through hard moments, you discover resilience you didn't know you had. You find out what you're made of. This self-discovery is empowering. It shifts your identity from someone who avoids difficulty to someone who faces it and overcomes it. You also learn discipline through discomfort. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is built by doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Discomfort is the training ground where discipline grows. Every time you choose action over ease, you reinforce your discipline muscles. When discomfort arises, focus on your purpose. Remind yourself why you started. Connect with your long-term vision and values. This focus gives meaning to the struggle and makes it easier to endure. Without purpose, discomfort feels random and unbearable. With purpose, discomfort becomes meaningful. It's natural to want to avoid pain, but avoiding discomfort creates stagnation. It creates a cycle of complacency that undermines your potential. Growth demands you break that cycle. It demands you choose discomfort over comfort regularly. This choice is the essence of mastery. Surround yourself with people who understand the value of discomfort. Being around those who embrace challenge encourages you to do the same. Supportive communities help you stay committed during tough times. They hold you accountable and remind you that discomfort is a shared experience on the path to growth. Tracking your progress through discomfort strengthens your resolve. Record your experiences, how you felt and what you learned. Reflecting on your journey reminds you of how much you've grown. It also highlights your ability to overcome future obstacles. Discomfort sharpens your focus. When you face hard moments, distractions fade. Your mind zeroes in on what matters most. This clarity is a gift. It teaches you to prioritize and ignore what doesn't serve your progress. Every time you push through discomfort, you gain a new skill, whether it's patience, courage, or endurance. These skills multiply over time and transfer to all areas of life. Your discomfort today builds the foundation for your success tomorrow. Embrace discomfort as an ally, not an enemy. It is the vehicle for transformation. Avoiding it keeps you stuck. Facing it frees you. Your relationship with discomfort defines your growth trajectory. The strongest people aren't those who avoid pain, but those who harness it. They turn struggle into strength. They transform setbacks into opportunities. They use discomfort as fuel to power their progress. Don't wait for comfort to start. Don't wait until things feel easy. The moment discomfort appears is the moment your growth begins. Step forward into it boldly and consistently. When you practice pushing through discomfort daily, you become unstoppable. You develop a mindset that says, "I will act regardless of how I feel." This mindset separates achievers from dreamers. It turns desire into reality. Growth is uncomfortable by design. It's meant to challenge you, stretch you, and change you. The only way forward is through discomfort. Walking around it only prolongs your struggle. Strength is built on moments when you choose action over ease. Each uncomfortable step you take is a deposit in your personal power bank. Over time, these deposits grow into a balance of unshakable confidence. You have the ability to change your relationship with discomfort. You can train yourself to lean into it. You can learn to welcome it as a sign you're on the right path. And as you do, discomfort transforms from an obstacle into your greatest strength. Make pushing through discomfort a daily habit. Let it be your standard. Let it shape who you are, and watch how your limits expand beyond what you once thought possible.
Chapter 7. Say no to distractions and protect your time. Distractions are the silent thieves of your time and energy. Every moment pulled away from your focus chips away at your progress.
Saying no to distractions isn't about being rude or isolated. It's about respecting your own goals and the limited time you have each day. When you protect your time fiercely, you create space for what truly matters. Time is your most valuable resource because it's irreplaceable. Every second spent distracted is a second lost forever, and no amount of motivation or talent can recover wasted time. The modern world is full of distractions designed to capture your attention and keep you scrolling, clicking or reacting endlessly. Notifications, social media, emails, meaningless meetings, random conversations, multitasking, all of these are traps. They make you feel busy but not productive. The difference between being busy and being productive is focus. Saying no to distractions means reclaiming your focus. It means deciding that your time is not open for random interruptions, but dedicated to purposeful action. To protect your time, you must first recognize what your distractions are. These differ for everyone. Some people get pulled into social media, others into endless chatting or emails, some by unimportant tasks disguised as urgent. Awareness is the first step. When you clearly identify what breaks your focus, you can create strategies to prevent those interruptions. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Setting boundaries is crucial. Boundaries can be simple, like turning off notifications during work hours or setting specific times to check emails. They can be more assertive, like telling others you are unavailable during focused periods or creating a dedicated workspace free from interruptions. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out, they are fences to protect your energy and attention. When you honor these boundaries, you train others to respect your priorities. Saying no to distractions also means saying yes to your priorities. When an invitation or request pulls you away from your plan, you must evaluate its value. Does this action contribute to your goals or derail them? If it doesn't align with your priorities, it's okay to decline. Saying no is a form of self-respect and a commitment to your future self. It is not selfishness, it is necessary discipline. Multitasking is a major distraction disguised as efficiency. Trying to juggle multiple tasks splits your focus and reduces the quality of your work. Instead, focus on one task at a time. Deep work produces better results in less time. Train yourself to give full attention to the task in front of you. This single-minded focus is a powerful weapon against distraction. Time blocking is a practical method to protect your time. Allocate specific chunks of time for important tasks and stick to them. When your schedule includes focused work periods, breaks and buffer zones, you create a structure that minimizes interruptions. Time blocking turns vague intentions into commitments you can't easily break. Learn to handle interruptions quickly and deliberately. When a distraction arises, acknowledge it, but don't immediately give in. Ask yourself if this interruption deserves your attention right now. If it does, set a limit and return to your task as soon as possible. If it doesn't, defer or eliminate it. This conscious choice preserves your flow and keeps your momentum intact. Your environment plays a significant role in your ability to avoid distractions. Design your workspace to minimize temptations. Clear clutter, silence unnecessary devices, and use tools that aid concentration. Sometimes even small changes, like using noise-canceling headphones or working in a quiet room, can dramatically increase your focus. Protecting your time also means protecting your energy. Distractions often come when you're tired or unfocused. Take care of your physical and mental health to sharpen your ability to concentrate. Adequate sleep, regular breaks, hydration, and nutrition are foundational. When your energy is high, your resistance to distraction grows stronger. Accountability helps in maintaining focus. Share your goals and plans with someone you trust. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitments increases your motivation to protect your time. Accountability partners can also help you identify distractions you may not notice yourself. Beware of fake busyness.
where you fill your day with low-value activities that feel productive but don't move you forward. This can be a distraction from the real work that requires effort and discipline. Track your time honestly to spot these patterns and cut them out. Focus on high-impact activities instead. Saying no to distractions requires practice and persistence. It is a skill you build over time, not a one-time decision. Each time you choose focus over distraction, you strengthen your ability to protect your time in the future. This creates a positive cycle of increased productivity and self-respect. Resisting distraction often means confronting discomfort. Sometimes distractions feel easier than hard work. Your brain craves instant gratification, but lasting success demands delayed gratification. Train yourself to sit with discomfort without giving in to the urge to escape through distraction. Digital detoxes or scheduled breaks from technology can refresh your mind and reset your focus. Regularly stepping away from screens reduces mental fatigue and increases your capacity to concentrate. Use these breaks wisely to recharge rather than to consume more distractions. Remember that every choice to say no builds your identity. You become the kind of person who respects their time, pursues their goals relentlessly, and refuses to be derailed by trivial interruption. This identity fuels your discipline and attracts success. Your time is the foundation of your life. Protect it as fiercely as you protect your health or relationships. Time lost can never be regained, but time protected builds your dream. Saying no to distractions is not a limitation. It is liberation. It gives you the power to live intentionally and accomplish what matters most. The freedom you gain from protecting your time is priceless. You can focus deeply, complete important tasks, and enjoy your work more. You can create a rhythm of progress that lifts your confidence and motivation. This rhythm becomes a force that carries you beyond obstacles. Choose daily to guard your time like a treasure. Reject distractions that steal your energy and blur your focus. Build habits that prioritize meaningful work and personal growth. This disciplined choice transforms your life from scattered to intentional, from overwhelmed to empowered. The moment you start saying no to distractions, you reclaim control over your time. You become the master of your minutes and hours, not their servant. This mastery is the key to turning goals into achievements and potential into reality.
Chapter 8. Take full responsibility for every action you choose. Taking full responsibility for every action you choose is the cornerstone of true personal power. It means owning your decisions without blaming others, circumstances, or luck. When you accept responsibility fully, you reclaim control over your life because you recognize that your choices shape your reality. Blame shifts power away from you, but responsibility places it firmly in your hands. This shift is not always easy because it requires honesty and humility, but it is essential for growth and success. Every moment you decide how to respond to a situation, you make a choice. Some choices lead you forward and others hold you back. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that no matter how difficult the circumstances, you have control over your reaction. This mindset transforms challenges into opportunities. Instead of feeling like a victim of life, you become the architect of your future. Excuses are the opposite of responsibility. They are attempts to avoid accountability by pointing fingers elsewhere. But excuses do not change outcomes. They only delay progress. Real growth happens when you stop justifying mistakes or failures and instead analyze what you can do differently. This approach empowers you to learn from your actions and improve continuously. Responsibility demands courage. It means facing the truth about where you stand without sugarcoating or denial. It requires that you look inward and accept your role in creating your current situation. This honesty might feel uncomfortable at first, but it opens the door to transformation. When you accept responsibility, you stop wasting energy on what you cannot change and focus on what you can influence. Choosing responsibility also means embracing your freedom. Every choice is an exercise of free will, and with free will comes accountability. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This control is the essence of freedom because it allows you to shape your life regardless of external events. When you take responsibility, you become proactive rather than reactive. You stop waiting for others to fix your problems or change your environment. You look for solutions within your power. This mindset creates momentum because action generates more action. Small responsible choices compound into significant progress over time. Avoid blaming others for your setbacks. Holding others responsible for your situation only gives them power over your emotions and decisions. You become trapped in a cycle of resentment and helplessness. Breaking free requires that you shift the focus back to yourself. Ask, what can I do to improve this, rather than who is to blame. Responsibility also includes accepting the consequences of your actions. Every decision has results, both positive and negative. Owning these consequences without excuses is essential for building integrity. Integrity means your words and actions align. When you consistently take responsibility, you build trust with yourself and others. Self-responsibility fuels discipline. When you accept that you are accountable for your choices, you are more likely to follow through on commitments. You stop relying on motivation or external pressure. Instead, your discipline grows from the understanding that your success depends on your action. Taking responsibility means learning to apologize and make amends when you've caused harm or made mistakes. This is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and maturity. Owning errors honestly fosters growth and improves relationships. It prevents you from repeating the same mistakes by forcing reflection and change. This mindset also helps you develop resilience. Life will throw unexpected challenges your way. When you take responsibility, you focus on what you can control rather than what you cannot. This focus helps you adapt and overcome setbacks instead of feeling defeated. Responsibility extends beyond your personal life. It applies to your role in communities, workplaces, and relationships. Being dependable and accountable builds respect and influence. People naturally gravitate toward those who own their actions and deliver results. It is important to set clear intentions with responsibility. Understand why you make certain choices and what you aim to achieve. Clarity of purpose strengthens your commitment and guides your decision. Without clear intentions, responsibility can feel overwhelming or aimless. Avoid shifting responsibility by blaming circumstances like lack of time, resources, or support. While these factors influence your situation, they don't determine your outcome. Responsible people find ways to work within or around limitations. They focus on solutions rather than obstacles. Taking responsibility requires regular self-reflection. Evaluate your actions honestly and identify where you fell short or excelled. Use this insight to adjust your approach. This process of continuous evaluation is the engine of improvement. Remember that responsibility does not mean carrying burdens alone. It means owning your part in any situation and then seeking help when needed. Asking for support or advice is a responsible action, not a sign of weakness. It demonstrates your commitment to solving problems effectively. When you accept full responsibility, you reclaim your power to create change. You become the driver of your destiny rather than a passenger waiting for circumstances to improve. This mindset releases you from the trap of victimhood and opens possibilities for growth and success. Your thoughts, words, and actions are all choices. Taking responsibility means recognizing the impact of each one. It calls you to act with intention and awareness. When you do this consistently, you build a life based on conscious decisions instead of autopilot reactions. Responsibility builds confidence.
Each time you own your actions and see the results, you reinforce your belief in your ability to influence your life. This confidence grows and encourages you to take on bigger challenges. To cultivate this mindset, start by making small responsible choices daily. Follow through on commitments, admit mistakes openly, and avoid blaming others. These habits develop your muscle for accountability. The moment you decide to take full responsibility, you begin to change everything. Your relationship with yourself and the world transforms. Challenges become opportunities, failures become lessons, and your potential expands beyond limits. No one else controls your life. Your choices are yours alone. Accepting this truth empowers you to create the future you desire. Take ownership of every action and watch how your life changes in response.
Chapter 9. Keep going even when motivation completely disappears. Motivation is a powerful force, but it is also unpredictable and unreliable. It comes and goes like waves, sometimes strong and sometimes absent altogether. The problem is that if you rely solely on motivation to get things done, you will find yourself stuck whenever it disappears. Real progress and lasting success don't depend on motivation alone. They depend on the ability to keep going even when motivation completely disappears. This skill is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up too soon. When motivation fades, your mindset is tested. You might feel tired, uninspired, or disconnected from your purpose. Those moments are difficult, but they are normal. They do not mean you are failing. They simply mean you are human. What matters is how you respond to these moments. Continuing to act without motivation requires discipline, focus, and commitment. It means doing what you said you would do regardless of how you feel at that moment. Developing this ability starts with understanding that motivation is a spark, but discipline is the engine. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you moving forward. Discipline is built through habits, routines, and daily choices that create consistency. When you rely on discipline, you don't wait to feel motivated. You act because you have created a system that supports your goals regardless of your emotional state. The key to keeping going when motivation disappears is to simplify your actions. Break down your tasks into small, manageable steps. When your mind is drained of motivation, large projects feel overwhelming. Focusing on tiny actions reduces resistance and helps maintain momentum. These small steps add up over time and prevent paralysis caused by lack of motivation. Another important strategy is to reconnect with your purpose regularly. When motivation fades, remind yourself why you started. Reflect on your deeper reasons and long-term vision. This connection reignites a sense of meaning that transcends fleeting feeling. Purpose is a steady fuel that motivates even in the darkest moments. Accountability plays a crucial role as well. Share your goals and progress with someone who supports you. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitments increases your likelihood to keep going. Accountability partners provide encouragement and hold you responsible, which can substitute for motivation when it is low. Accept that there will be days when your energy is low and your enthusiasm is gone. Don't use these feelings as excuses to quit. Instead, honor your feelings without letting them control your actions. It's okay to feel unmotivated, but it's not okay to let that feeling stop your progress. Acting despite low motivation builds mental toughness. Create routines that anchor your day. When certain actions become habits, they require less conscious effort and motivation to complete. Your body and mind get used to the routine, making it easier to push through on difficult days. Habits form the foundation of persistence and make consistency possible. Visualize success regularly. Picture yourself achieving your goals and experiencing the rewards of your hard work. Visualization strengthens your belief in the possibility of success and keeps your mind focused.
Even when motivation wanes, this mental image can inspire you to take action. Be kind to yourself during periods of low motivation. Harsh self-criticism only increases resistance. Instead, practice self-compassion while maintaining your commitment. Recognize that motivation fluctuations are natural and temporary. Self-compassion reduces stress and keeps you in a mindset conducive to progress. Avoid waiting for motivation to return before you act. Often, motivation follows action, not the other way around. Taking the first step can reignite your energy and enthusiasm. Movement creates momentum, and momentum generates motivation. This cycle helps you regain your drive even when it feels lost. Set clear, achievable goals with deadlines. When goals are vague, it's easier to procrastinate. Specific targets provide direction and urgency. Deadlines create a sense of necessity that encourages action, regardless of motivation levels. Keep a progress journal. Recording your achievements, no matter how small, reminds you of your capability and growth. Reviewing this journal on tough days can boost your confidence and resolve. Seeing evidence of your effort reinforces your decision to keep going. Focus on what you can control. You cannot force motivation, but you can control your actions. Concentrate on the process and your behavior instead of outcomes or feelings. This shift reduces frustration and keeps you grounded in what matters most. Sometimes, switching tasks or taking short breaks can restore some energy and clarity. Use these strategically to prevent burnout. However, be careful not to use breaks as an escape from responsibility. Balance rest with action. Learn from setbacks rather than letting them stop you. Failure and disappointment are part of the journey. Analyzing what went wrong and adjusting your approach strengthens your ability to persevere. Each recovery from low motivation builds resilience. Surround yourself with inspiring influences. Books, podcasts, mentors, and supportive peers provide encouragement and ideas that help you push through tough times. Positive input refreshes your mindset when motivation fades. Remember that persistence compounds. Consistent small efforts create exponential results over time. Missing one day or feeling unmotivated momentarily doesn't erase progress if you continue moving forward overall. Developing a mindset that prioritizes action over feeling empowers you to become unstoppable. You train your brain to respond to goals with effort regardless of your current emotional state. This mental shift transforms how you approach challenges. Celebrate your commitment to keep going even without motivation. Recognize this as a victory of character and willpower. Each time you act without motivation, you strengthen your identity as someone who perseveres. Ultimately, keeping going when motivation disappears is a practice of mastering yourself. It is a daily decision to prioritize growth over comfort, effort over ease, and long-term success over short-term feelings. This discipline unlocks the door to achievement and fulfillment beyond what motivation alone can provide.
Chapter 10. Finish what you start, no matter how you feel. Finishing what you start is the true test of commitment and character. Many people begin projects, set goals, or make plans with enthusiasm, but the difference between success and failure lies in seeing those things through to completion. The journey from starting to finishing is often filled with obstacles, distractions, and moments of doubt. These challenges test your determination and willpower. Finishing despite how you feel is a discipline that separates those who accomplish meaningful things from those who merely dream. Feelings are powerful but unreliable guides. You will not always feel motivated, confident, or energized to complete your tasks. Sometimes fatigue, boredom, fear, or frustration will try to convince you to stop. If you allow feelings to control your actions, progress becomes inconsistent and goals remain out of reach. Learning to act independently of your emotional state builds resilience and reliability. Commitment means making a promise to yourself that you will see things through no matter the emotional weather. This promise anchors your actions during difficult moments. When you face resistance or waning enthusiasm, remembering your commitment helps you push forward. It is a steady force that keeps you moving when feelings fluctuate. Completion creates momentum and builds confidence. Every time you finish what you start, you prove to yourself that you are capable of follow-through. This proof strengthens your belief in your abilities and fuels future efforts. Unfinished tasks, on the other hand, create mental clutter and drain energy. They become reminders of inconsistency and unfinished business, which can weigh on your mind and self-esteem. Breaking work into smaller segments helps manage feelings that arise during long projects. When overwhelmed, focusing on the immediate next step instead of the entire task reduces anxiety and fatigue. Celebrating the completion of these small parts creates positive reinforcement that encourages you to continue. This approach makes finishing less daunting and more achievable. Discipline is the bridge between intention and completion. Motivation might initiate your actions, but discipline carries you across the finish line. Developing daily habits that reinforce your commitment builds this discipline. These habits create a routine that keeps you progressing regardless of your mood or energy level. Accountability can increase your chances of finishing. Sharing your goals and deadlines with someone else creates external pressure to follow through. Knowing that others are aware of your commitments motivates you to deliver. Accountability partners can also provide encouragement and reminders during moments when feelings want to pull you away from completion. Learning to manage discomfort is key to finishing. Challenges, mistakes, and difficulties are inevitable parts of any worthwhile task. Instead of avoiding discomfort, accept it as part of the process. Developing tolerance for these hard moments allows you to persist and eventually complete your goals. Avoid perfectionism as an excuse to stop or delay finishing. Waiting for conditions to be perfect leads to procrastination and incomplete projects. Embrace the idea that done is better than perfect. Finishing imperfectly still moves you forward and opens doors to improvement later. Reflect on the consequences of not finishing. Incomplete tasks often result in missed opportunities, loss of trust, and personal regret. Visualizing these outcomes can strengthen your resolve to finish. Use this awareness as motivation to keep going despite how you feel. Preparation supports your ability to finish. When you plan realistically, set clear milestones, and organize resources ahead of time, you reduce obstacles that could derail progress. Good preparation minimizes unexpected stress and makes it easier to maintain consistency. When feelings threaten to derail you, focus on your purpose and long-term vision. Remind yourself why you started and what finishing will bring. Connecting with the deeper meaning behind your efforts provides emotional fuel to persist. Purpose adds context to struggle and makes it worthwhile. Celebrate your progress along the way. Acknowledging how far you've come reinforces your commitment and improves morale. Positive reinforcement helps balance negative feelings and keeps your mindset constructive. Distractions and temptations to quit will always exist. Developing mental strategies to stay focused helps you resist them. Techniques like visualizing, positive self-talk, or setting timers for focused work increase your ability to concentrate and finish tasks. Remember that finishing is a habit built through repeated action. Each time you complete something, you strengthen this habit. Over time, finishing becomes automatic rather than a struggle. This habit cascades into every area of life, improving productivity and satisfaction. Be patient with yourself during this process. Some tasks take longer or are harder than expected. Persistence requires endurance. When progress slows, keep going. The finish line is often closer than it appears. Accept responsibility for your commitment to finish,
Avoid blaming circumstances, others, or your feelings. Taking ownership of your follow-through empowers you to overcome barriers. Responsibility fuels action and builds integrity. Finishing what you start builds self-respect. It signals that you value your goals and yourself enough to see things through. This respect strengthens your identity and confidence, creating a positive cycle of achievement. Don't let fear of failure stop you from finishing. Fear can cause avoidance or abandonment. Instead, view finishing as learning, regardless of the outcome. Every completed task increases your experience and wisdom. Set clear priorities to focus your energy on what truly matters. Finishing less but more important tasks brings greater fulfillment than starting many things and completing few. Focus sharpens your ability to deliver results. Take breaks strategically to maintain energy and clarity. Rest isn't the enemy of finishing, it supports sustained effort. Plan pauses that refresh your mind without breaking momentum. Use reminders and checklists to track your progress. Seeing your accomplishments visually can motivate you to continue. These tools provide a sense of control and order. Surround yourself with people who value completion and hold high standards. Their influence encourages you to adopt the same mindset. Positive social environments boost your discipline. Remember that finishing is an act of respect to those affected by your commitments. Whether it's work, relationships, or personal goals, following through honors others and builds trust. Each time you finish, despite difficulty, you grow stronger mentally and emotionally. This strength prepares you for future challenges and increases your resilience. Developing the habit to finish transforms your life. It changes you from a starter into a finisher, from a dreamer into a doer. This transformation is the foundation for lasting success and fulfillment. Commit today to finish what you start, no matter how you feel. This commitment will change the trajectory of your life and unlock potential you never knew you had.